Hello. So I thought I'll capture a little bit of what I'm calling as movementless yoga and of the eye. Now, I have posted a few videos on um, eye eyelid breathing. So taking care of the eyes is an important part of, well, seeing beauty. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. They say IsIs. It's also is like there is the reality of the matter and is the reality of the matter. Is. Yeah. Um, so, and OsIris is like Os, or the round, like iris, Os, the like the whole, kind of. Iris, Os, Iris. So that's like Advaita. So when you think Osiris and Iris, Isis and Osiris, they're kind of talking about the same thing. So it's like reality and that which see that the whole through which you see reality by. Yeah. So Lucky was on the right path. Yeah. So to get Isis and Osiris together, yeah, because reality is so much of hallucinations of many things. Yeah. Because you go in your own morasses and your own, ooh, what have you. Yeah. And beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And if you're not seeing reality for what it is and your own version of it, it's called um, the whole of hell or something, a black hole. And the book of Vishanti. Yeah, both are talking about the eyes and hypnosis and all those things. There's a book referring to the eyes as hypnotic. And what movementless yoga, what healthy natural breathing, eye breath does, is it basically dehypnotizes. Yeah. So a lot of our visualization practices and several of these practices, it's about visualization, lucid dreaming, and many things, but don't know how to clean the eyes. And our visions give rise to the actions we do or don't do. Yeah. So if a car has its windshield cloudy, we cannot really go where onto the highway, for example. You could, if there are many a winding path, yeah, getting to doing the right things. So if you're kind of blinded by your own past-based impressions or your own projected images, visions, yeah, um, then you're not quite going as well as you would need to, or you're not going onto the right path. Yeah, you don't know which is the right path because you're not seeing things for what they are. You're having your own idea, version of reality. And reality is so much better than fantasy because they've not really studied the human body. Yeah. Consequently, we have WHO's list of diseases. Some of it is because of our visualizations and not knowing how to clean our eyes and ears and nose and smelling, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, knowing. At least six. And then there is the sense of nothing and everything. Yeah. You're going to get familiar with at least the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling. We are still working on different stages, but you don't quite get to these senses without also addressing the sense of knowing because they're all related. It's called common sense in the sense that all these senses are related. They form a synesthesia, so to speak. They form a synesthesia. You kind of get platitude into a certain sense, a cookie-tude, or rather, kind of crusted into a certain ways of thinking and behaving because you don't address knowledge also or thoughts. Words are the tools of the mind. And knowing is also bouncing off of, say, when we say knowledge, you go from first grade, first standard, to different levels of learning, and they are different sets of words. That sense knowledge, yeah. So you could say see ledge, hear ledge, yeah. So it's about how refined is your hearing, for example, that way, if you can think of it that way. So you could get into hallucinatory states and not really listening to the truth of the matter. You could be hearing many things, but not listening. That sense, yeah, stepping up, ennobling. You could be seeing many things, but not um, seeing reality for what it is. Yeah. Just because you see doesn't mean you see. Yeah, that way. You can see, but are blind to the fact. Okay, that way. Knowledge and the knowledge bit, the thought-based health bit is left to mental health practitioners. Yeah, and because your common sense is a little off, you're working with the five senses. The sixth sense is left to the therapist, like mental health, psychologists, psychotherapists. Yeah. So WHO's list of diseases continue. Our common sense is not working together because there are six senses. And then there is nothing and everything. You need to heal, improve nothing. You also need to heal, improve everything. Otherwise, you have a time version of reality. You have your own version of reality. The subjective and objective reality is two different things. So nothing and everything also needs to be improved. So these are like senses. You have a sense of nothing, you have a sense of everything. Because otherwise you're holding on to, kind of attached. And so you don't have the sense of nothing. What you don't know what is not being attached to look like or feel like. See, hear, smell, taste, feel, know. Like, what is nothing like? And what is everything? Yeah. So we have at least 36 particles. Yeah. And Melakarta Raga is talking about 72 ragas. So we have different kinds of, you could say, states. Raga is also your own version of it, your own rendition of the story, the song. Yeah. So there are a set of words, or say alphabets. And what's the version? What's the story that you write with the same set of sounds? Humans, let's just say that there are certain set of sounds that we regularly use. And for example, English has 26 alphabets. And it's about what is it you write? What is the story, the narration that you write? It could be comedy, it could be tragedy, it could be epic, it could be, satire, it could be. So each of these are genres. It's also raga. Yeah. If it's a musical rendition of it, and when we are speaking, there's like, I speak about the whole thing, and then I'm thinking about the version of the story that I would like to say. Yeah. So when you talk like that, there is different musicality to how we speak. So that's also the raga of it. Yeah. The version of it, like, oh my goodness, my life is like this, and this all has happened. Oh my goodness, if all this happens to me, and it's all, yeah. So get an idea. Raga. And they have documented about 72 ragas. Yeah. Melakarta ragas. So we got lots. Yeah. Sri Chakra is having 36 lines and 36 points. So 36 plus 36, 72. So it's already symbolically represented, all of this. Yeah. So, and the stories of our life, the health, wealth, wisdom of our life is kind of limited by which are a few of this. They say people live by around 35 or 36. That's just, yeah, kinds of ragas that the musicians also keep singing regularly, but don't really cover the entire base. And so WHO's list of diseases is also from the ragas which haven't been addressed or spoken about or even lived life by. So there are diseases or from these states being the way it is, and you have mental health practitioners and other kinds of health practitioners according to how much they do know about the matter. Yeah. Now they're talking about shadow work and all that, but that was not possible. There was a lot of concerns for being there. There's still WHOs, still diseases, but at least it's in some way working towards it. But what I'm saying here is there's a lot we don't know. For example, how to clean our own eyes. ISIS, OsIris. Now, my work as a um, Shrishti optimization, yeah, just like the internet came over several cycles of technological evolution too. My work is about health improvement. Yeah, I'm from the healthy economy. I'm from the body that's human. So this is my area of specialty, the human body. And being human, becoming humane, mythology. Yeah. So from going from crude to refined, ennobled, humane human beings. Dashavatara, Dashami. Well, the Sri Chakra is talking about there's at least 10 forms. Yeah. Sarvartha Sadhaka Chakra. That's talking about, well, Dashavatara, Dashami. 10 plus 10 is 20. So a human being has at least the masculine and the feminine, yeah, aspects. It's a positive, negative. So we put on an x-axis. You could say positive, negative. Now, which is positive, which is negative? That depends on your relationship with the masculine and the feminine. Yeah. Mother, father, that's also masculine, feminine. Nature, nurture. Now you tell me which is positive, which is negative. I'm telling this because we have a not so positive attitude to negative. So we don't see how they balance an equation. They maintain their complementary opposites, positive, negative, on one common point that is neither positive nor negative. Yeah. So now you tell me which is positive, negative. Complementary opposites on a midline, on a mean line. Yeah. Mean line in the sense, if you consider this as the thing, then this would be the mean line. Yeah, if you consider this as extreme, it's a heaven and hell. So this would be like mean line, earth, that way. So if you consider this, then something is a mean line here. Between positive, negative, there is a mean line. So our balance gets a little higgledy-piggledy, yeah? Depending on the Leaning Tower of Pisa is talking about how our foundation is a little lopsided. Our basics is a little lopsided. And when they are as firm ground as they need to be, then our ideas of reality is not like a Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah. The mean line is the physis of evolution is not like looking London, going Tokyo. Yeah. So what work am I doing? Setting things right, getting us back on the highway, the natural uh, physis of life. The point also is the role that I'm doing is about regularly maintaining being human. So we're not becoming other than human. We have, for example, our conscience is not as clean as it needs to be. I haven't really heard many people talking about working focusedly on conscience because they're talking about consciousness, but I think they don't really know what conscience is. And I've been working on it since some time. So maintaining being human is how we maintain the conscience also. So I'm drawing the Sri Chakra. I'm seeing how the Sri Chakra emerges from my conscience because you see reality for what it is, and then you see something is missing, and then you put those pieces together and say, this is not really matching. There's something more here. It's like you're reconstructing a puzzle, yeah? Pieces. Then you see, for you to see something is missing, you need to see reality first. Otherwise, you just go by, yeah, we have it. What? You don't even know something is missing. Yeah. For that, your vision needs to be clear enough and on the road, yeah, on where you're headed. These flash images in the eye, it's called morasis. And people go by, oh, I saw that. And then you go by that idea, and then you're like a journey, yeah? shamanic practices, for example, they call it a shamanic practices, but it's more spirit based. And then I find spirit and emotions, they basically charge. Yeah. They say spirit is different, emotion is different. But your idea of spirit, for example, if you go into, say, haunted places, you say spirit, it's charge. There's a certain positive, negative charge to it. Emotions, you get all big emotions, yeah? Or and then you start breathing and all that stuff. So the thing is, spirituality and emotionality are related by charges. And then it's about have you electrolytes and yeah, so cation, anions, and yeah, all of that. So and then you talk about accension. Without you actually balancing the positive and negative, you're not really accenting anywhere. Yeah, you have your own version of growth. It's actually into your own little hallucinatory states. Advancement in hallucinatory states. Yeah, they call it as mysticism, which is kind of interesting. I think it's not mysticism, it's called misty. Yeah, you're getting a little more cloudy. Yeah, and continuing to not see the matter for what it really is. It's like you have your head in the clouds. Yeah, a human being is like a mountain, and when you are firmly on terra firma and you are firm about what you're talking about and what you know, you see moralities and different kinds of what people are talking. You see things in perspective. You know they are cloud, not firmed up, not formed up. Yeah, it's like misty. They're not clear about what they're talking. Yeah. The mountain can see clouds. And it takes something to, terra firma, to firm up from your mysticism. You might be a little faffy. Yeah. So, and you don't know your boundaries because you're like a droplet of water, cloudy. You don't know your boundaries because you haven't begun the learning about it. And then you have alpha, beta, gamma, theta, delta practices. 5 brain waves, and then you're listening, and then Mr. Jose Silva, he did his research, and then further research, he's been contemplating on the matter on the other side. Yeah. And how do I know that? I was thinking about, this is there, and then this is there, and they're not quite matching. Yeah. Because there are differences, different ways of how reality is looked at. And then what I've discovered over time is there are no contradictions in life. What there is a lack of perspective. So then you're talking about these brain waves and 5 states, and then Hebrew's talking about 22. Yeah. Then I'm saying they're talking about 5 and you're 20. Maybe they haven't really figured out all the frequencies or states. And then there is another group, ACA. They're talking about states because that's where I heard about, there are different kinds of states. And I've listened to some people who are practicing, who are followers, students from that group of people, ways of thinking, that school of thought. And they're talking about states. Here there is 22, and that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about a wide and limitless field, and they're like, what are you talking about? Because there is a reason why limits are there. Yeah, if you go limitless, it affects your brain, affects your, you go a little misty. Yeah. And then they're talking about Diksha and all of that. So those ideas are not quite there. The idea of Diksha is matching with the teleseries Ashes of Love, where it's a kind of punishment. Yeah. And then, so here there is spirituality, and then you being able to handle the lightning of the matter. Yeah. So those two are not quite matching. So they're a little, a little this way. In the sense you're together, not okay. Yeah. Together they are double wrong. Yeah. Or not so fine. Which means they're going away from the center, from how things need to be, from what would actually ground you and then have have the balance between complementary opposites work. Yeah, so that common sense is there. Otherwise, you're kind of extending into something that is not where humanity is supposed to be kind. Yeah. So there is these 5 brainwave states, and then listening to frequencies and binaural sounds, and I have an entire talk about that. Binaural sounds is also, let's just say, Earth, India, when took float from Gondwana land. The studies of it is saying that India began to move by 5 centimeters per year to 14 centimeters per year. And that was possible because there were 2 drafts. There were two currents which then came together. The direction, the vectors that were pulling India towards Asia there were 2 vectors. And so together they functioned, and then that gave rise to movement from 5 centimeters to 14 centimeters. So binaural sounds is like that. There's a slow, there's a fast, but there's a slight difference in the pace. Nature, nurture, the masculine, feminine matter, energy, is like matter after a certain point becomes energy, and energy after a certain point becomes matter. And there is a certain pace, which is like where they say people who can vote, the male needs to be like, say, 21 years, female needs to be 18 years. So there's a difference in the pace. Yeah. So that's also like binaural sounds. There's a certain frequency, would say, but it's actually a certain sense of maturity. Binaural sounds, my heart beats at a particular pace. Your heart beats at a particular pace. You would say, oh, human pace. But they've not really studied the human body. And we got so many varieties of people. African people, American people, East, West, North, South. We got lots of people. Chinese people, yeah. One shoes fits them all. The one shoes that fits them all is the human body itself. Yeah, and we don't have one standard model. We got lots of models. Yeah. So so this is like the law of attraction. It works for some, not works for some. Which part works for whom? Yeah. So then, and we have different versions of how the law of attraction works. And we have the idea of law of attraction, and we have the standard model of particle physics. There are lots of particles, but how all these puzzle pieces are put together, that also depends on our perspective on reality. 6 blind men and the elephant. I've spoken about 6 senses at least: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, knowing, and our own version of reality, depending on where we are looking at. Earth, for example, from which planet are you? Yeah, that you're looking at the matter, or which star are you looking and gazing at the matter of Earth, or yourself, or the human body? Yeah. Okay. Now, my job is to keep cleaning our impressions on the human fabric. I have my body. I'm taking care of my own health and maintaining being me. And if I'm noticing this is not natural for how a healthy human body needs to feel, then I just clean my body without moving a muscle, without using any things, without using any sounds or chanting. So it's called para, let's say, for a word. Yeah. You talk about metaphysics. This is not metaphysics. Ooh. My idea of metaphysics is metabolism. Yeah, when you're talking about you have catabolism, metabolism, and anabolism. So there is destruction, preservation, preservation of values that needs to be. So you got to destroy the values that is not working as fine. You got to preserve the values that is working as fine, transmute it into better. So bitter butter is getting better butter. So that is an ongoing process. And then there is anabolism, what you build from that. So it's like 3 dimensions: creator, preservation, creator, maintainer, improver, and destroyer. Yeah, related. So there's this idea of yantra, mantra, tantra. So in relationship with the Sri Chakra, the first triangle, that's one way to look at it. Yeah. It's all you can also see it in terms of health, wealth, and wisdom. And it's about where are you heading? Yeah. Do you know which way is north? And the north and south keeps changing every so many um, paces as Earth's magnetic field also reverses. Yeah. Um, in a particular pace. And the Surya Siddhanta, the way I am able to see it, or the Kunak temple is talking about how um, the Kunak temple may have been constructed along the thought lines of how Earth functions, where a third magnet was was discovered as being able to be placed in the diastatic space between two magnets. Yeah. So um, so when you consider the polarity of the matter, heaven and hell and those kinds of complementary opposites, you could get you could quite go off balance, yeah, which doesn't work because that tilts the axis. And Earth has been functioning by many axes, yeah. So rounding, contemplating on the matter, different functions, and we're still in different levels of stabilizing, yeah, in tandem with the different elements, the microcosm, macrocosm, so many complementary partners. Yeah. The solar system, different planets, stars, galaxies, what have you. Yeah. So um, a human being is capable of stabilizing the matter because we can be in relationship, just like how we can be in relationship with frequency, energy, vibration. We can be in relationship with silence, stillness, nothing. And there are two versions of it. Male, female, masculine, feminine, yeah, yin, yang, yeah, complementary opposites, which forms 20. So Dashavatara, Dashami, you would say Dashavatara is masculine, Dashami is feminine. There you go, got balance, yeah. And then, so Sarvartha Sadhaka Chakra, to maintain the composition of it, requires Sarva Rakshakara Chakra, Sri Dashamahavidya. And that, you need to do it my way. Because people have been chanting and then visualization, and common sense has not been functioning as much. So we have different forms of yoga where people also stand on their head. They also do mantras and japas, yeah, japas. And their idea of meditation is, katin tapasya, yeah, and go into their own hallucinatory states. Oh boy, yeah, states of being. So they get a little cookied and they become different kinds of planets and stars and galaxies, suppose. Yeah. And they're kind of sitting there. There's also this idea of they're sitting in different planets. Yeah. And it's like very interesting because I heard somebody saying about Godman that they're sitting in another planet. I'm like, interesting idea. Yeah. So who's going to take care of Earth's affairs? Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is not working. Yeah. Something is off here. Because contradictions of the matter, yeah, this doesn't really match. So how serious is the situation? Yeah, how interesting is the situation? And then I'm saying WHO's list of diseases. Yeah. So maintaining being human ongoingly while we have different planets having their influence on Earth and sun's radiation, and Earth is moving by the magnetic fields, and maintaining being me and not just getting drawn into the different circadian rhythms, cyclical patterns between day and night, is an important part of maintaining health. While that is so, we have the human morphic resonance field, what maintains us as human. We are like one species. So there's we're all holding hands in a field, a human field. There's a dog field, a cat field, plant field. Yeah. So the idea of the extinction and all is from those species not being able to maintain their speciesitude. Yeah. And I've been over the 2 years of the pandemic, I discovered, corona is having an influence on the human field, on maintaining being me. And then I discovered, oh, The self of all human beings is related. So I've been healing the self, maintaining being myself, basically, and not becoming somebody else. So I've been maintaining the me-tude. But then I discovered the Sri Chakra. Yeah. To live in life in the multiverse, to live in me in the multiversal universe. Because I discovered my body is at least a multiverse. Because the eyes need to sing their own song. Liver needs to sing liver's song. Heart needs to sing heart's song. That's when they function as themselves. Otherwise, we have one little gumpy gook. Yeah, not working so fine. We wouldn't be a human body. So to maintain the human body composition, we are basically a multiversal universe. One body universe. Yeah, otherwise we'd be like, yeah, multiple personality. Okay, that doesn't work. Yeah, jingly jangly, not work. So, and then I need to maintain, and then there is the idea of the 16 factions. Yeah. All of them need to be complementary together, complementary to one person. Yeah. So you can recognize when somebody is seeing you in a particular way. Yeah. They see you guru, for example, or, or employee, or something the cat dragged in. Yeah. Or mother, father. Yeah. And you getting cookied into it. Yeah. Kind of like platitude into, oh, yeah. Yeah. That's also states. And then you don't have the common sense, the common state, common ground required for you to maintain your wellness, because you're kind of angled in a particular way, like sharps and blunts. Yeah. You're kind of functioning by certain frequencies, and you become like that kind of a crystal. Yeah. You're kind of cookie-tued, crystalled. Rigor mortis is also crystal. Yeah. Not that crystal. So, yeah, like coronary concerns, liver concerns, and those are all different kinds of crystals, which means you may not have entirely become into like one form of always stating like that, but you could be having crystals. Those are also hallucinatory states. And on top of that, if you're having too much of salt and sugar, without knowing how to digest the matter, the cookie-tude, the platitude of it, the sukha and dukkha. The sukha is like, oh, nice. And then you're cookied there. Dukkha is like that, and you're cookied there. Yeah. In that sense, you may be kind of stated into particular forms. Yeah. And you're those kinds of humans. So, like we're all going to be like assembly lines of humans. No. You're still going to be you. It's going to be healthy you, and not stated into platitudes, formitudes. Yeah. That requires you to clean your eyes regularly. So you're maintaining being you and not becoming somebody else. Now, what does that take is for you to well clean your eyes. So your sense of reality and virtuality, yeah, the software, hardware are more in sync. And you're maintaining more being you and maintaining being human. Why am I repeating myself? Because right now I just went on a little trip, a journey about the narration. And then I need to, yes, we take a car, for example, a vehicle, and we go on a trip. And then you need to come back home. Yeah, which also means you need to recalibrate. Once home, you need to recalibrate and be home person. Otherwise, you could have jet lag. Yeah, you went on a trip, you're affected by the dust and impressions, and then you're impressioned. Yeah, and then you cookie-tude, get a little cookied. And then at home, you are having difference in opinion, difference in how you are able to relate with people. Yeah, which is why you need to, they say you need to, wash your feet, hands, feet, change your clothes. So, and then get into home clothes. How are you going to do that about your own body? Because this is our basic fabric of time space. Kalaripayate, movementless Kalaripayate, Surya Namaskar. Yeah. And otherwise we have our own stories woven into our fabric. And then you're talking about where is it? Straying from marriage. Yeah, the harmony relationships, students. And so all of these things are there. So how do you maintain that harmony? The family is in the heart. Otherwise, we are just people living under a roof. Yeah. So to maintain the family-tude, you need to heal your own fabric of time space, your own body. So your heart sometimes gets closed from the platitude, cookie-tude, different kinds of effects, and then that's not functioning as well. You kind of forget, or that body part kind of forgets how to function as well as it needs to, which means that part of your body is not breathing as well. Just like a house where the windows are not open as much, and you're becoming a little indoor generation, which means you're living in your own little wellness. You can think about this. You cannot think about, say, for example, in living life in the multiverse. You're like, what in the world? What? Why is it related with? Why is it even important? Yeah. What does it do to me? What does it do to you? So you can't see why are that all important, or why people in America or Iraq or Timbuktu, what have you. Why you need to care about all of them? Yeah, you can't even see them. There are governments there. So they will do it. Yeah. We're all on the same planet. We're all human beings. And how can we, well, what can I do about it? You can maintain your own health and your care, even about thinking about them. If we talk about it, like, meaningless, useless thoughts. So to that extent, you're kind of cookied. Your heart is closed. Or you don't even know you don't care about it. You don't care. Which means to that extent, your body has forgotten the layers of relationship. Your conscience, to that extent, has gotten a little veiled. Yeah. Um, by impressions or the circadian rhythms, body clock is not breathing as well to that extent, because of which you don't care. You've gotten stated into certain forms and not be water. Mr. Bruce Lee says, be water. You've kind of gotten iced a little bit. Ice here, there, a little flowing, a little ice, a little vapor, cloudy. Yeah. And then a little plasma. That is, of course, So you could say 4, but there are actually 22 states of matter. I don't know if it's also 22 states of water. Yeah, I don't know. But people are working in terms of 5 brain waves. So I don't know if it's 22 states of water, but then there is earth, water, fire, air, spirit, space. And I find these are all related. It's like common sense. They're all related with each other. So 22 states of matter. So it's like fireless fire, waterless water, earthless earth. Yeah. So spiritless spirit, spaceless, spaceless space. They're all related. So common sense, what it takes to be human. My idea of homunculus is where they're all talking to each other. Yeah. Clarity of the matter. So the Shri Chakra is talking about a dot at the center. It's also representing earth. It is also representing a clear, like a glass house, clear glass orb. Yeah, that way. And then earth sees the matter. And then that clear orb maintains life. Yeah. Right now we have salty water oceans. We will be having freshwater oceans. When we, as human beings, learn to de-impress, decontaminate, de-traumatize earth, water, fire, spirit, space, which also gets influenced by different planetary stars, planetary influences, star influences, sun rays also, yeah, and our own versions of what reality is. Ooh, visualization, and then listening to only certain frequencies. Ooh, Earth is having a moment, maintaining the sounds of life for nothing. That is life and living. Yeah. Earth is doing some work 24/7. Yeah. And we have these humans doing these whatnot. But Earth managed to employ me It's also called Sri Yantra, be an instrument of life. Yeah? Not about, you say instrument of God, instrument of life. Because there's a God and devil, and you have your own version of what is God and devil. Yeah, which is God and devil. So Sri Yantra is about being live, seed of life, and being alive, and continuing to live in life in the multiversal universe. When we go to, say, a public place, we have multiverse. Many universes walking in their own pace and rhythm because they have their own heartbeat, life beat, and lung beat. And so they are their own verses. So when you're in a public space, say we go to a family occasion, that's a multiverse around you. To live in life in the multiverse, so that you're healthy, contemporaries, they are healthy, future generations are also healthy. That takes conglomerate science, my conscience, and my enlivening of the Sri Chakra. Because we are, we have books, Book of Vishanti, yeah, Guru Granth Sahib, Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran. People keep reading about it, but not quite understanding the matter. And we also have the Sri Chakra. So people have been looking at the Sri Chakra since some time, yeah, and then functioning from it. And maybe that's why I came into matter and what is missing? Why is this like this? So this idea of the Dashavatar every 1,000 years or something, 1,000, 10,000 years, yeah. So maybe that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So when we are being our own Dashavatara, and we have 10 and then 20, Dashami and Dashavatara, we are maintaining the evolutionary cycle. So we are maintaining what it needs to be, the Shri of life and living life in the multiverse. So waiting for the savior and all that, now you're going to be your own savior. Yeah. And then you need to maintain a certain composition, which is suitable to maintaining the dharma, Manushya dharma at least. And when we say Manushya dharma, that includes being able to take care of plants and animals and microbes. Yeah. So there is 9. So there is space, okay, water, earth, space, air, fire, spirit. Yeah. And then there is microbes, animals, plants, humans. So that's 9 planets from 1 to 9. Like the Sri Chakra has 9 steps, stages. It kind of nicely sits along this line of there are 9 numbers, platitudes, or other cycles of evolution. Human body formed from all of these several cycles of evolution. So there's a video that I've made about it. Then I need to alter that a little bit, because they were talking about, spirituality is so important. Now we are so much about spirituality, and I'm saying nothing. Spirit is one aspect of it. So in which case we have 10. Yeah. There's nothing, and then there is human, plant, animal, microbe, earth, fire. Was it fire, earth? No, earth, fire, water. Yeah. Okay. Fire. And then there is air, spirit, space. So that would form 10. So we need to take care of 11. They call it Ekadashi. Yeah. Ekadashi. We're talking about 10. No, 11. Yeah, Ekadashi. So that Jaya Parvati Vrata. Yeah. Ekadashi. 11. Yeah. Plus 11. Plus 11 plus 11. So 11 into 4, 44. Yeah. Mr. Elon Musk spent 44 billion in buying Twitter. I made the image of the connector. Yeah. It's basically a mandala yantra. Yeah. That has 44 points, frets inside. So I think that's a musical instrument. Yeah. 44 frets. Ayodhya has 44 doors. So I was thinking, interesting. Somebody's done the math and they arrived at 44 doors. So Ekadashi, yeah. So on Sri Chakra, yeah, this kind of works really well. So to be the Grihanatha, otherwise you're under the influence of the different planets. You got to maintain the composition of Earth and then regularly de-cookie, de-impression. That's called yoga. Because Earth is doing that by the magnetic field protecting, yeah. So doing this turning magnetic field, and then so human beings then can maintain it, otherwise becoming into ice, and then global warming, then yeah. So to maintain a balance, a moderate uh, temperature, so we're having the Garden of Eden, tropical, and then all kinds of fruits and beautiful, and that requires human beings doing some work, doing the work of maintaining the Garden of Eden. And for that, us alone being all healthy, wealthy, wise won't work, because the history of India is talking about India used to have so much health, so much wealth, and all of that. And people couldn't understand because they came colonization to loot their wealth. Yeah. They came to India East, and then they're all wealth and all that. But India is like the Garden of Eden that took float from the Gondwana land, joined Asia, and then formed the Himalayas. And the same story continuing. Yeah. Okay. The thing is, when you have sufficiently, you need to be regularly distributing. Yeah. Which is why it's called love. Love is such that you say Akshay Patra. Yeah. But it's also like a pot. Yeah. You need to regularly uh, keep distribution. The Muslim people say at least 10% you give in charity. But if you go by that kind of calculation, what if you're doing better than, if it's like so much percentage of your earnings, they say, what you're having. If you just go by that kind of a thing, tabulation list of diseases is there. Yeah. And then we are yet to enliven life in the multiverse. So you just, your math gets a little fast track. Yeah. You kind of go fast, and then you got to go far, we got to go together. So enlivening life in the multiverse, when we are all working together, becomes more faster. Yeah. When we are doing it the right way, because India took float from 15 centimeters per year to 14 centimeters a year. Yeah. And we have the, let me tell you, 1 minute, it's called the uh, oh, observer. Sorry. Okay, we just got to pause this. Yeah. Saubhagya Dayaka Chakra, 14 triangles. Yeah. But that's also like 14 centimeters. That's one way to look at it. So to parabolize, yeah, like anabolism, catabolism, metabolism, parabolism, trajectory integrations, and you have parabolism. Parabolas is also a metabolic process. So this is where the math meets the chemistry, meets the physics, meets the biology. 4, may the force be with you. It's a STEM. So I have Mary's STEM intelligence. Yeah, it's a intelligence of enlivening life in the multiverse. Multiversal universe. So from India, what we learned is don't just keep it all together, because there might be this colonization thing, and then these you say these aliens, yeah. So that we have this idea of Pandora, yeah, Avatar, the movie Avatar. There's a lot of unobtainium under this tree of life, yeah, Pandora, which is why the aliens came, yeah. So when you're regularly distributing the matter, we have this idea of the receiver message, yeah. So it's like, oh, just sending information. You're working on that. You should know what to communicate, yeah. So as our common sense is all working fine, then they would also like to have the benefit of life. Yeah. They would also like to contribute in in having the good life. Yeah, because I think they were also affected by the Big Bang, universe going inside out kind. Yeah. So, um, so the how to of it, we are like the headquarters. Yeah. So I'm talking about that. And as we are all learning yoga, like proper Shri yoga, I can't say Shri yoga, it's about Shri Yantra, when we're all functioning as Shri Yantras, instrument of life, love. And we are love makers. Yeah, we make love. Like we make poo, pee, and all of that, your goo and all that. You also make sounds like this. We make love from our body without it moving a muscle, like between the fabric of our own body, such that we are converting sukha and dukkha into life and limiting substance. So our care, so we like don't care, to love, to true love. Yeah. That's when we ennoble from the crude to I don't care to crude to fertile. So this the center of the Sri Chakra, they are talking about 1 minute. They are talking about Sarva Rakshakara Chakra is there. And then there is Sarva Roga Hara Chakra. Roga basically means it's actually doorways. It's like space. Rog. It doesn't mean disease. Your disease is from being stuck in certain spaces and not quite moving. Yeah. Your heart is kind of closed. It's a coronary artery disease. Yeah. Roga is also um, the life from the holes. Yeah. And you would say just 8. The Sri Chakra has 8 petals and then 16 petals. So the inside, as it is within, so it is outside. Yeah. As it is above, so it is below. Yeah. As it is front, so it is back. Yeah. Because based on the past is how you project it onto the future and then say, this is how life is. Yeah. So as it is behind, as so it is forward. So standing in the middle. Yeah. So left, right, front, back, up, down, in, out. So you need to be in the center of Earth. Yeah. So while there are all these circadian rhythms going around, this idea of the Surya Siddhanta, at least Mr. Nilesh Oak is talking about how there's a core, and that's like an orange. The peel is kind of slightly moving around. Yeah. So then there is different ideas of which part is getting the sunlight, and then which part is um, so apparently the Antarctica used to be slightly warmer, yeah, and not so much ice. So different parts of the globe used to get sun rays, and civilization would change accordingly. That's the idea. So you're maintaining the Grihanatha, yeah, maintaining a core, center of Earth, while there are circles moving around and then saying, so there's this verse that says, pay attention to flora, fauna, and seasons, and um, you wouldn't be poor a single day of your life. Yeah. So, so let's maintain our Shri, our wellness, all original human intelligence. Yeah. So contact me the sooner we get started learning this. Be and live in life in the multiverse. Yeah. Because then you'll be able to see how when you improve nothing in particular, or shunya, which is at the heart of everything, then everything becomes better. And nothing becomes better too. Because nothing also needs to be improved regularly. Yeah. It's like the Rishabhavati. Yeah. Um, it's a river in South India. That became like the drainage canal with the city waste, the sewage and all going into it. And the river needs to maintain being the river, no matter how people have been looking at it. Yeah. River needs to maintain being river. And that's how the river that flows in the bottom of it all, nothing is like that. Nothing is like the river that flows at the bottom of it all. Needs to keep improving such as the Ganga, the Anga, the Gayatri, or the Gaya, like cow, 4 stomachs. So you continue to care. Yeah. So to continue to care, that's when you become like a cow. Yeah. Holy cow. Right. Kamadhenu is the name of a sacred cow who took care of the baby. Yeah. So it doesn't fall off the cliff. And instead, since we are humans, we can bridge the gaps between the cliffs. Yeah, the arroyo. So, like Olaf, not a puddle. We bridge the gaps. Yeah. And then we can continue our journey. Yeah. Puzzle pieces all together. Humanity cross boundaries. So it's not about building bridges across rivers, but changing the course of the river so that you don't have to build bridges, in a sense. Yeah. They say mind valley, mind of no mind. Motion. It's also called music. Music connects, that you should know which kind of music connects in such a way that life is all coming together. Yeah. Scintillating octaves with the tiny, with shiny, and all that. So we have stars. Yeah. So it's like uh, is like a black ocean now. I want to know it now. Continue to make stars and like water. Yeah. You say Kalapani again. So the mother life continues to be inspired to, continue, we make more uh, earths. Yeah. So we are all like Hiranyagarbha. We're all like earth, baby away. So we can't see the dark is always there. The black ocean, Kalapani, black ocean is always there. It's just that we can't see. When we have the light or we have the sunlight, sunlight is there, and so we cannot see the dark. But we have a body, and we are in touch with nothing in particular, like silence, stillness, nothing. We are in touch with the Hiranyagarbha. Yeah, the womb, mother life, mother universe, multiversal universe, mother. Yeah, from where we all live, they say Margari Puve, Margari Puve. So when we are sleeping, the song is Unmari Mere Yuri Dum Dee Dum. Yeah. So the idea is when we sleep, we are going into oh mommy Blackwater, mommy lap, and then sleeping, and then we wake up. Yeah. That's also the idea. So it's like, oh no, go to sleep. No, you contact me. You learn how to be in mommy lap. Oh, they're nice. While you're waking, while you're working, eating, sleeping, doing your everyday activities. Also, we also have a black ocean, white ocean, clear ocean. I call it higgledy piggledy ugledy, kind of. Yeah. Substance, different quality of substance. They say black hole in the center of the galaxy. Let's just say they're all kind of connected. So there's a black hole, there's a white hole, and there's clear hole. Higgledy piggledy ugledy. So different levels. There's also 3 dimensions. Yeah. Okay. So I hope this gives you a little perspective on what is. So you see yin yang and the clear dot in the center and all different perspective. Very nice. So we will get the benefit of becoming a Shri Yantra, an instrument of life, love. Yeah. Life, love. Your love for life. Not for death. Yeah. In live in life, multiverse. And not having to use how you eat food, how you make food, what food you make. They all become better, You begin to converting the bitter to better. Yeah. You wouldn't want to dip your banana into those liquids and solutions and then try to fast track ripen them. And yeah, your relationship with subject and object and all improve. So contact me soon. Yeah. So keep tonguing and we meet at talking. Soon may the wellerman come and bring some sugar and tea and rum. Sugarless sugar, tealess tea, rumless rum. Yeah. So you're seeing the good life. Yeah, beautiful. You don't need to be attached to those things. And then you have sugar and tea and rum. When you know healthier metabolism, ajirne bhojanam visham. Without knowing metabolism, you drink all that different stuff and it's all staying as landfills in your own body and you're behaving accordingly. Yeah, the landfills, WHO disease is talking about what's happening inside you. As it is within, so it is outside. Your behavior is also talking about it. So collectively as a group, you're functioning like how our health is inside a body. Yeah. So original human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. Yeah, artificial intelligence, attachment to things. Yeah. And then we need to improve the things, including the degree of development. Otherwise, we just grow. We've gone to a particular state, size of the body, and then like now finished, adult. Yeah. And then you are devolving. No, you're going to maintain the growth, crude to ennobled human beings. So we're not dying because the cycles of birth and death, they are evolutionary cycles. Ennoblement is happening within your own body. Yeah. You don't have to die. That's the point. They say going beyond the cycles of birth and death, this is what it takes to live forever and ever and ever. Yeah. And healthy, wealthy, wise, happily married to life. You know, that there is by how you're taking care of all that there is. Yeah, by how you care about all that there is. Forever and ever and ever. That's called life. You love life so much. You live life in the multiverse. So you like to be part of healthy economy? Do contact me. Yeah. And we'll all work together. Yeah, so it's called healthy economy, ecological economics. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you so much for your interest. Good day.